Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. We are here today for a brand new list in a brand new format because, making these long lists on my own is a really hard job and I don't really have the time, especially as a parent, to make the big edited lists. So we're going to start doing it a bit more me talking to you, I guess. And we are going to be starting with WWE, that company that you all think I hate so much. It's not true. We are a couple of days out of WrestleMania and a couple of days after the Raw after WrestleMania, which was a complete and utter disaster. Trust me, I do like WWE. And I have compiled a list of 10 possible directions that WWE could go following WrestleMania. And again, these are just my thoughts. They can be completely wrong. You can disagree with it, which obviously you can leave in the comments after you hit a like and subscribe. So let's talk about it. These are 10 directions for WWE's future. We start with the obvious one, which is Cody Rhodes' redemption. Now, I think a lot of us are still shocked to this day that Cody Rhodes lost to Roman at WrestleMania. I feel a lot of us are shocked as well that Cody Rhodes is being thrown into John Cena's post-WrestleMania 28 storyline against Brock Lesnar. Now, I'm not saying this is a bad rivalry in the slightest. Brock is a fantastic worker, and obviously Cody is too. And this could really be the push for Cody Rhodes' redemption, which could lead into another title match against Roman. I feel like the blow-off match between Cody and Brock would either happen at Backlash in Puerto Rico or potentially at the Saudi Arabia show coming up. We all know how Saudi Arabia loves Brock Lesnar, and Cody could go over Brock here. I can see him not in the same regard, and then we come back for another match, but I feel like we need a one and done, and Cody Rhodes beats Brock to show he can do this and he can beat Roman. And this will build Cody up for a potential match against Roman at SummerSlam. And by this point, Roman will have hit the 1,000-day mark, as it's due around May the 27th, if not the actual date. Let's be honest. Roman's not going to top Bruno Sammartino. That is a long time as champion, and times have changed now. It's not the same as back in the day where you'd have 4 big shows a year and Bruno would be on all 4. You have to cater for a consistent TV schedule. And with Roman potentially going on breaks, it doesn't seem right keeping him as champion, because we all know how the fans reacted when Brock took the title hostage. So maybe the story finally concludes at SummerSlam. It could go to Mania, but I think it's too long. Next, we talk about a rivalry that a lot of people think should have ended by now, and that's between Rey and his son, Prison Dom. This is not ending anytime soon. As we saw on Raw, Dom attacked Rey, Dom attacked Bad Bunny. It's blatantly going to a tag team match in Puerto Rico. Yes, Bad Bunny's supposed to be hosting, but there's nothing stopping him from having a match. Look at The Miz. He had 2 matches over WrestleMania weekend. It makes sense because Dom's character doesn't feel satisfied right now. He's still very anti-Rey. He's still very anti-family. The Judgment Day is still his home. Dom needs to be satisfied by finally beating his dad. It doesn't matter if they win the tag team match at Backlash because it's still not a one-on-one. I do feel this rivalry is still going to go on for at least enough time till SummerSlam. If not, this could go all the way till WrestleMania 40. Rey Mysterio spoke about and hinted at that he'll be wrestling till around 50, and he's currently 48. So by WrestleMania, he still won't be 50. But there is nothing stopping him losing a match here to Dom, potentially leaving the WWE and going on to the Indies to, say, bye everybody, it's been very nice to see you. The way you could end it is the bog standard hair versus mask match. I mean, Dom's growing out the mullet. He looks like old school Eddie, but we all know there was that rumor that Dom was going to take the mask from his dad, and the perfect way to end it is Dom finally beating Rey. Now let's look at Becky Lynch. It's been really interesting how they've been building up Becky Lynch, especially in a tag team division with Lita. It's an interesting way for her to go. She definitely deserved to win the tag team titles, and it's great to have Lita there. But there is a third wheel here we are not considering. Trish Stratus. She does not look happy to be third wheeling Lita and Becky. Don't forget, Lita is one of her biggest rivals, and there is a tag team title match coming up against Raquel and Liv on Raw. This would be the perfect time for Trish to finally turn heel and attack Becky. We could then have the build up to SummerSlam where Becky finally beats Trish, but on the way we could get one last match between Lita and Trish, one of the premium live events, Money in the Bank for instance. It would sell tickets. It'd be an okay match, I guess. I mean, Trish can still go and Lita can still go to a certain degree, but I think this rivalry is a guarantee. Now for one that is probably going to happen, even though none of us will really like it for story purposes. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn splitting up again. Whether it is due to a fallout or whether it's just you know, they go their separate ways and what happens, happens. The current tag title run will probably go on a good while. There may even be the chance that this is the tag team to finally separate the titles, maybe losing the SmackDown ones to a random team like, I don't know, the Viking Raiders, and then keeping the Raw one going. So, you know, the tag team divisions are still getting some action. If they do fall out, I half expect it's going to be Kevin Owens to turn. You can't turn Sami Zayn at the moment. He is a top babyface in that company. And Kevin Owens, we all know, is fantastic as a heel. You know, when they lose one of the titles or both the titles, that could sow the seeds for a fallout, to which Kevin then finally turns and attacks Sami. We then get the build up and, you know, one of the big 4 or 5, if you class Money in the Bank, one of the big pay-per-views, they could totally have the blow-off match. I do see it being a WrestleMania match. If there's a top title free as well, you could even put that on the line here. But Kevin and Sami are due to fight each other forever, regardless they're best friends. Don't be surprised if this comes along in the long run. Now let's talk about Bianca and Rhea. These are 2 powerhouses that are due to come across each other in the ring very soon. We saw it on Monday Night Raw where Rhea confronted Bianca and said they will meet down the line. This was already teased before WrestleMania when Rhea said that there was reasons she didn't choose Bianca, and that will definitely be seen to down the line. This match is going to happen. They are 2 of the most over women in the company. One is a top babyface, one is a top heel, but these 2 are going to come together and clash. It's going to happen at one of the big PLEs, but they are going to hold off on this for so long, mainly to keep both women at the top of the division, because in the end they could probably unify the titles in this match, because that is the thing WWE like to do right now. I think this is the only one on the list that is a total guarantee. Next, we're going to talk about someone who was totally missing from the WrestleMania card, and it felt empty without him. We're going to talk about good old LA Knight. This could be his year. He's organically got over with the crowd, mainly with his simple, yeah. It's great. It works like Austin's what, even though Austin's what is the most annoying thing in wrestling right now. The Bray Wyatt feud didn't hurt him. As bad as that feud was, and as long and drawn out it was, LA Knight stayed relevant. Yes, he's still losing matches a lot to people he shouldn't be losing to. I'm actually quite shocked he didn't win the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, because that would have been a great push for the guy. And also, we didn't get the confrontation we heard about between him and Bobby Lashley at Mania because their respective matches didn't happen. But LA Knight could become one of the top guys right now. I think the perfect point is at Money in the Bank in London. Have LA Knight win, build a new star, have LA Knight hold the Money in the Bank. No, he doesn't have to cash in and win the title, but at least elevates him a bit. But with Vince back in charge now, apparently, this could all be wishful thinking in the long run. Now, one of the biggest shocks I found at this year's WrestleMania is we didn't get a heel turn from Drew McIntyre. He has become super stale as a babyface right now. He's great, don't get me wrong, but it just kind of feels like he's kind of on this level going along. Drew is a fantastic heel as well. If you see his work in ICW, he was really good during his break from WWE. I genuinely thought it was going to be a case at WrestleMania where Sheamus was about to finally win and Drew stopped it and then punted him right where it hurts. And it didn't happen. After the match, we just got a tweet which was one word: pints. And it seemed that Sheamus and Drew went back to being friends again. Sheamus is in the position right now, though, where he is so over having banger after banger that he cannot turn heel. Drew, on the other hand, needs something to boost himself up. He doesn't need to stay a heel for a long time. It could just be a simple heel run against Sheamus and then one other superstar, and then we organically turn him back to being a babyface. But I do think this finally needs to happen. Next, we're going to talk about Gunther. You know, one of the greatest wrestlers to ever step foot in WWE. The guy alongside Sheamus has been having banger after banger after banger, and his Intercontinental title run has really lifted that title into new heights, just like it used to be back in the day. It no longer feels like a mid-card title. It feels so much bigger. He's had great matches with Nakamura. He's had great matches, obviously, with Sheamus. And he's going to beat Honky Tonk's record. It has to be done. He was a naff Intercontinental champion. Gunther has really put in the work. Like I say, he's made it relevant. It's roughly around September time he would finally beat Honky Tonk's record, which would be a perfect time to then beat it and then finally lose it. And he needs to lose it to Sheamus. We need to complete that storyline. But after that, what do you do with Gunther? You push him into the main event scene. Hopefully by this point, Cody's the champion. Having a Cody and Gunther feud after what we saw in like their 5 minutes at the Royal Rumble, it would be excellent. Gunther is going to be world champion Monday, and he deserves all the praise in the world. Now let's talk about Austin Theory. He beat Cena at Mania. It was kind of obvious. It was like an okay match, but we all knew the outcome. But Austin Theory then came out on Raw and said he wants to beat Rey Mysterio to add him to the collection. This almost feels like a legend killer gimmick. We've seen it done before with a certain somebody, and Austin Theory could actually make this gimmick work. He's so egotistical and kind of a chicken shit heel, but him beating legends, fuel the ego, he keeps thinking he's getting better. You could have great matches with someone like Edge, and then that would be the perfect time to bring back Orton if he's due to come back. He does his whole thing about being the legend killer before. Austin Theory fuels his ego, which would then lead to a big match between the two, and Austin Theory wins. If you want to build him up, you build him up to look very strong. These guys would really elevate Austin Theory up the card and make him less crap. Now finally, the last direction WWE need to go in is pushing their top guys, Seth Rollins and Bobby Lashley. What the hell is going on here? Seth Rollins has been carrying Raw for years now, especially now Roman's double champ. And Bobby Lashley, ever since the Hurt Business started, the guy has been immortalized as a top deal. Both guys put on great matches. They're both fantastic characters, even though you could say Seth is over the top, but come on, someone's got to do it. Both guys should be a world champion. Bobby still hasn't had a big feud with Roman since Roman has become the top guy. And Rollins has, but that match, as good as it was at the Royal Rumble, ended stupidly. We never got a conclusion to it. But look at what happened on Raw. Rollins was brought out to dance. Look what happened at WrestleMania. Bobby Lashley was brought out to just stand on the stage with his Andre the Giant Battle Royal title, which is ridiculous him being in the first place, but that's all he did. Neither of these guys are getting utilized properly. Both of them should be the next contenders for Roman, or if Triple H was bringing a new title in for Raw, both of them should be competing against each other for it. And that's the list. How do you feel about it? Is there any more directions that you'd love to see? Please leave them down below in the comments. Hit the like and subscribe. Also, let me know how you feel about doing the lists in this format. I feel like it's more time worthy and it's a bit easier for me to talk to you instead of following a complete script. But thank you very much for watching, and I will see you soon.